Hey guys, it's McLeans Diecast here, and today I have a review for you of the Vermeer CTX100 Mini skid steer by SpecCast in 1/50th scale. This is a recent release, and I know a lot of people have probably been looking forward to this model as there are no other mini skid steers available in pretty much any scale, much less 1/50th scale. This is a very small model, so do keep that in mind as we go through the review and look at some of the detail and functionality. It's not perfect, but it is pretty good for its size. So let's move on to the review. So now we will move on to the functionality of the model. Now, the model does have rubber tracks. As you can see, the tracks do not roll on a smooth surface, but you can roll them by hand a little bit, but it is hard. So the boom raises up a little bit. It's not as high as it should be, but for a machine of this size, you know, some of the engineering probably had to have compromises. So I think it's good enough for the model. Bucket will dump a good amount. And then, of course, you can lower the boom with the cutting edge. You can lift the machine off the ground if you wanted to. The bucket comes back down flat. And the bucket also has a nice carry angle. So, moving forward, we will look at the detail of this model and the packaging. So to start off on the detail phase of the review, I will note one flaw of the model, and that is the boom lift cylinders are mounted upside down. Maybe this will be corrected on later production runs, or maybe this was another engineering choice. I'm not sure, but I just figured that would be something I should note in the review. Now, for the detail, you can see the nice crisp clear Vermeer decal and CTX100 decal on the side of the machine. You have some highlighted paint in some cast-in grills on the engine compartment. You see various bolt detailing throughout the undercarriage and a couple various rollers that are non-functional. You can see the sprocket and idlers in the undercarriage are all separate pieces made from plastic. You can see hydraulic lines that run up here, up the boom. We'll see those more in a minute. And as we will rotate around to the back side of the machine, you can see some of the work controls at the top. And you can see the operator's platform with some anti-slip texture and some vent grills in the operator's compartment. You can see the hydraulic lines once again coming down the back of the boom. And some more venting up there. One thing, I'll turn the machine back just a little bit so you can see it, is if you've ever noticed, equipment typically has a little box to keep the owner's manual, and that right here has been modeled in a piece of plastic. It is a nice detail piece, and it is highlighted in black. Continue around. This side is pretty much the same as the other side. There's just a few more hydraulic lines. Of course, you can see the stabilizer bars on the boom. And so a little bit of detail on the boom, but it's pretty simple. Bucket's pretty simple. No real cutting edges or wear edges. There is a little bit of a cutting edge, but it's kind of hard to tell through the paint. We'll lower the boom down and take a look with the boom down. You can see the Vermeer logo on the boom again, and continue to rotate around to the front of the model. You can see that this cylinder sits a little crooked based on my model. Bucket, pretty simple. Got the Vermeer logo and some vents on the controls again. Take a look at the top. We'll take a look at the bottom. Pretty simple. A little bit of detail around the undercarriage, but that's about it. So that's been the detail of the model. We will now move on to the final thoughts, and then we'll take a look at the packaging at the end. So, in final thoughts, this model is small, as you can see here by the United States quarter that I have set in front of it. It is really small. Now, that, of course, has to be considered when we think about some of the engineering restraints and challenges that have been had on this model. So that could explain the fact that the functionality isn't great and that the detail, in my opinion, the detail is pretty good for the size. And of course, you can see it with the Diecast Masters Cat 301.7. It is really small. You know, this model is expensive. It is the $36 to $40 range. And if you're looking for a model on a budget, this may not be the best choice, but this is the only mini skid steer in 1/50th scale, and I doubt we'll see more. SpecCast did a really good job on this model. It is almost completely metal. Only a little bit of plastic has been used in the detail parts. The bucket, the boom, and the body are all metal. The undercarriage is mostly metal. So it is a high quality model. The price point is a little high, but you know, I wouldn't expect less. So overall, it is a nice model. It is a small model. Keep that in mind. You saw there with the other models. This won't take up a whole lot of room if you're tight on space. So it's a good space saver. If you're into landscaping and small construction, this is a great addition to a collection. Or if you're just looking for a truckload, it's a cool little addition. So take the price, take what you've seen in this review, and make the decision for yourself. I don't want to tell you one way or the other, because this is a good model if you are looking for something like this. So thanks for watching. I will, of course, show you the packaging in just a minute. And before I wrap up the review, we'll just take a look at the packaging. It is a little branded cardboard box with 2 plastic formers inside that slide out and easily separate to remove the model. It is good packaging. It leaves little room for the model to be damaged during shipping, so that's nice. Of course, you can see ages 14 and up, 1/50th scale diecast replica, Vermeer CTX100 Mini skid. Turn it around. Vermeer equipped to do more. You've got a picture of the real machine on the back. And on the bottom, you've got some information. Vermeer, ages 14 above, manufactured by SpecCast, and the various different codes and numbers and things. So, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And if you want to see more, let me know. Have a good weekend, y'all.